What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sahara Football. If you're new here, you know what to do. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. The World Cup qualifiers are here again, and Nigeria Super Eagles will be facing South Africa in Uyo. And this video will be previewing that match, and I'll also tell you at the end of this video, so make sure you watch to the end of the video. At the end of the video, I'll be telling you where to watch this game. I'll be telling you where to watch the game, so stick to the end of the video. So let's get into it. As you can see, the table, Nigeria are third on the table. That group, they are sitting third with 2 points. Disappointing that they got only 2 points from their first two games they could have easily won, but they ended up drawing both games. Now they sit third. South Africa sit second with 3 points, and Rwanda are on top of the table. Who would have predicted that Rwanda would be at the top of the table after 2 games? But Rwanda are on top of the table with 4 points. 4 points. So Nigeria might go on top of the table if they beat South Africa on Friday. That game we played on Friday, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, 7 p.m. Ghanaian time. So it's going to be an interesting game. Both teams are preparing very well, but there are question marks about Nigerians' preparation because most players were stranded in Lagos because of the Nigerian strike. The Nigerian Labour Congress were on a strike, and most players couldn't join the team on time, and they delayed their flight and everything. It was hectic. The players had to wait till on Wednesday before everybody was in camp. So despite the disappointment and late arrival of some players, I am expecting Nigeria to actually prepare very well and be ready for South Africa encounter. It's going to be very difficult for Nigerian Super Eagles because South Africa are very good and are currently on form. We saw what happened at the Africa Cup of Nations earlier this year. We saw how difficult South Africa are to play against. They are very good in defense, in the midfield, and also in attack. You make one mistake, they score goals. So it's going to be difficult to see how Nigeria will set up against South Africa. This is Finidi George's first competitive game, so everyone is expecting to see him performing very well since he has had experience. He was an assistant coach under Nigeria's former coach Jesse Pesero, so they are expecting him to know that this is what we are expecting from you. We need to win this game because we didn't win our first 2 games, which was a disappointment. This one we need to win it. So there's a huge pressure on Finidi George to actually perform and actually get the results for Nigeria. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Nigeria play in front of fans at Uyo. The last time they played the World Cup qualifiers at Uyo wasn't interesting. I think that game ended at 0-0 or 1-1 draw, but I know Nigeria drew that game obviously, but this one fans will be expecting a lot of goals. It's going to be difficult considering the fact that Victor Osimhen is not in the squad to face South Africa. I don't know if it's an advantage or it's a disadvantage for Nigeria because everyone expects Victor Osimhen to score. Pass the ball to Osimhen, pass the ball to Osimhen. Now Osimhen is not there. We have Victor Boniface. We have some other talented players who can step up, to score goals, to get the results for Nigeria in games like this. There's opportunity for them to show that they are, capable of stepping up in the absence of Victor Osimhen. They can come out with goals, they can create chances, get the points and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see which player steps up to get the results for Nigeria. But it's South Africa. It's going to be very difficult. Now, talking about South Africa, we know that the players, most of the players are from the local league, and most of them, they know themselves very well. They have been playing together for a very long time. They know how to communicate with each other. They know how to they all have one thing in common. Most of them play in the same league and in the same country. But if you look at the Nigerian Super Eagles team, most of the players are playing abroad. Most of them are even born abroad. Most of them live in abroad. I feel that this one is coming from Turkey, this one is coming from England, this one is coming from Germany, this one is coming from Italy. But the South African team, they all play in the same country. Most of them, I think 80 or 90% of them play in the same country. So it's very different when you look at how both teams will gel. And this is Finidi George's first competitive game, so it's going to be a test to what he's been teaching the boys, to what he's learned. But the South African coach Hugo Broos obviously knows his players. It's going to be very easy for him to tell them that this is how you play, this is how you play, this is how you position yourself, this is where you play. He doesn't even need to tell them because they already know what to do even before he told them, because they have been together for a very long time. So that's the difference between the Nigerian Super Eagles team and the Bafana team. The Bafana team, they know themselves very well. The coach know the players know what the coach is expecting of them. Finidi George is bringing new ideas, so it's going to be very tricky to get these players to know that this is what I expect, this is what you should play, this is where you should stand, this is where you should run, this is how you should shoot, this is how you should pass in a very first competitive game. So I feel it's going to be tricky to see how the Nigerian Super Eagles play against South Africa. Everyone is expecting a lot from Finidi George. Most people criticize this appointment. They expected Nigeria to appoint another foreign coach or a coach with a more experience. Finidi George hasn't had that much experience when it comes to coaching a top team like Nigeria Super Eagles. But you know, they all, as they say, we all start from somewhere, and this is how he's starting. You know, it could be something beautiful. The way everything is building up to, he can actually make a name for himself. He can actually make history with the Nigeria Super Eagles. So going into that game, it's going to be interesting. Let's go to the predictions. I think it's going to be very tough for both teams to get the result. I'm tempted to predict another draw, but I don't think it's going to be a high scoring goal. It's going to be a very, very cautious game. Both teams will be looking not to concede first. Both teams will be looking to keep that clean sheet. I think South Africa would focus more on defensive part, and they'll be looking for counter attack to score Nigeria. Nigeria, on the other hand, I think it will start cautiously, but as the game progresses, they'll start building up, and you know, they can get the one goal and relax, or get the one goal, then South Africa will come out to attack, and Nigeria will get the 2 goals. So I'm predicting a 2-0 victory for Nigeria. If Nigeria score first, they'll score another one, then they will defend. That is my predictions. So I'm expecting a very commanding win for Nigeria. So I'm going with a 2-0 win for Nigeria, because South Africa coming to Nigeria to beat 2-0 is going to be one of the shocking headlines on Saturday morning, because no one would expect South Africa to come to Nigeria and beat Nigeria. So I think the worst result for Nigeria will be a draw. So I don't think anyone will be expecting South Africa to actually go to Nigeria and beat Nigeria in Uyo. It's going to be very difficult for both teams, but I'm predicting Nigeria to get the 2-0 victory. Now, for where to watch the game, most of you that can't watch the game in Nigeria, as if you are not in Nigeria and you want to watch this game, you want to stream it online, I'll tell you where to watch the game. I'll put the link. I'll put about 2 links on the website where you can go to watch this game. Yes, it will be in the description. I'll put the 2 links there where you can go to watch this game, Nigeria versus South Africa. The description, check the description of this video. You'll see the link to watch this particular World Cup qualifiers. I hope you did enjoy the video. I'd like to know your thoughts. What do you think about the game? Who do you think will actually better the other team? Because it's going to be interesting to see how Nigeria performs against South Africa under the new coach Finidi George. We know he has a lot to prove. He has to show the fans that, see, I have come here and I'm coming to win with the Super Eagles. I would like to know your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't and hit that notification bell. Till next time, guys. Goodbye.